Everything that Tom DeLong has claimed about UFOs listed in the next few slides must watch, as others have reported these advisors are allegedly senior generals and figures in the U.S. intelligence services and the military-industrial complex. It seems clear to me he does have these contacts based on his known contacts and the information TTSA have got out so far, including senatorial briefings, as well as the Navy acknowledgement of UFOs and lately partnership with the U.S. Army. He claims, the wider reality, the universe is teeming with intelligent life of all kinds. Malevolent entities are present on Earth, have been manipulating humanity for most if not all of our history. The advisors refer to them as the others. They may not be aliens as we understand them and are linked to consciousness, or can master consciousness, which is the greater reality we haven't learned to tap into yet. They are parasitical. They feed on human conflict and negativity. They have inspired world religions for the purpose of dividing us. They have done so by posing as gods and providing religious messages from the heavens. They can also implant visions and ideas directly into our minds. Telepathy is real and the universe is essentially what we might best term magical. The people in charge of the cover-up believe that the world religious scriptures are based on real events involving manipulation by the others for the purpose of creating competing belief systems to keep us divided and at war. The state of human society is fundamentally unnatural, and the product of this persistent manipulation. Human civilization has risen and fallen in cycles that go back way longer than we currently accept. It's likely these cycles have been initiated by the ET visitors. His advisors consider the possibility that Atlantis may have existed, that this was one of the high points of one of these cycles when humans had developed expanded consciousness, or technology that allowed them to become aware of the others and repel them. He suggests Atlantis may have been destroyed by them. The others desire to keep us enslaved and unconscious. Their greatest threat is human consciousness and spiritual awakening. Mankind uniting against them. Abduction phenomena are real. Abduction events involve telepathic manipulation and the implanting of ideas by the others as well as genetic manipulation. They are not benevolent encounters, although they can make us think they are. Chanting names of gods, Buddha, etc. when being abducted protects you from abduction. It's not the religion but the faith in a higher power. Humans have souls. The others don't have souls. They are akin to a hive mind. They are interested in DNA and its connection to influencing the cosmic source. Tom asked one of his advisors how it is that if the ets that don't exist in our dimension they can create a craft that looks physical, and probably are. He will reads the answer straight from the source. Using nanofabrication atomic layer by atomic layer with durable nanotexturing and quantum entanglement properties, and of course powered by the polarized vacuum. The same methods that cryptoterrestrials use. I am not sure if he's referring to the others as cryptoterrestrials or saying there are also cryptoterrestrials. The craft Greer summons are real, but we shouldn't try to make them appear. They are malevolent and messing with us. He's been told by his advisors that some UFO encounters are part military and part spiritual. He doesn't know what that means. The Greek gods and many other reported gods were in reality the others posing as gods. They are not gods but can appear as gods to us. They are extremely advanced and from very, very far away. UFO phenomenon in modern history. The Nazis had contact with the others. World War II was at least partly the result of their manipulation. UFOs started appearing at all nuclear tests during and following WW2. The visitations happened in US tests, Soviet tests, and possible elsewhere. Nuclear tests alerted world governments to existence of ET visitors, and the most important discovery was that EMP caused by air bursts of nuclear weapons revealed and brought down their craft. The off-related connection between UFOs and nukes is the opposite of what many believe, that they are warning us of our own impending self-destruction. It's because it's the only thing that can harm them. As advanced as they are, they can't get away from the blasts. The Cuban Missile Crisis was related to UFOs. He says they learned a lot from what happened in the Cuban Missile Crisis. He also references another test at the same time that may have brought a UFO down. The test also involved the MP. He says they learned a lot about what was brought down. The real reason we continued to do so many nuclear tests was because we realized there were UFOs present and we could neutralize them. In the modern era, the others have deliberately crashed craft to give us the technology to wage war against each other, or that will cause division, such as us being addicted to it and not present to what is really going on. With every UFO crash event, we should always ask ourselves the questions: was it intentional or unintentional? The Roswell crash did happen. However, the most important UFO event in Tom's opinion is Starfish Prime, a nuclear test in space. He says they learned a lot about EMP, something more than they learned from the effect of atmospheric EMP on UFOs. He didn't say what this was. Specifically, he says what we found with Starfish Prime nuke test is different from what we found with Roswell, but equally as important. And that's all he can say. UFO crashes are sometimes to give us technological help. But it's not really help, it's designed to allow one side an advantage and perpetuate conflict between human factions. UFO crashes could be because it was shot down, lighting brought it down, or they faked it getting shot down or lighting bringing it down. The other way the others interact with us are contact. He says we should ask, are you led to the contact or is it led to you? The third way is by indirect contact. Do you have the thoughts put in your mind because you're at a lab and are a scientist discovering something, or because thoughts have been put in your head at night while you were sleeping? The cover-up. There is a UFO cover-up, but it's not what we think it is. It's global, but Americans are leading it. Don't blame the institutions, it's not the government and it's not the intelligence services who are aware of the reality. He says that it is managed as in a different type of mechanism. It's not the government or intelligence agencies. That's all he can say. America works with its supposed enemies on this topic. This group realize humanity is dysfunctional by the design of the aliens. It's suggested that the nuclear arms race is influenced by it being the only weapon we can use against UFOs. It can take them down and reveal their location. The entire Cold War we were working with the Soviet Union, and the one reason that stopped it from going hot was out relationship and common cause in relation to the others. The Cold War was not just between the US and the Soviets, it was also a Cold War between humanity and the others. There was a small group of people on both sides that were using the nukes tests against the others as a way to fly swat some bugs out of the sky. We have been reverse engineering their tech to give us an advantage against them while keeping it hidden under the cover of the Cold War. The nuclear arms race is also partly directed against the others. The breakthroughs we've made are competitive advantages to the battlefield against the others. Reagan and Gorbachev were working together on the UFO topic. Reagan knew what was going on. Reference to his famous speech about humanity uniting against extraterrestrial threat. The tech we've discovered isn't being hidden from us for money, for the patents. It's being hidden from the ET phenomenon. The technology for clean energy exists within the study of UFO phenomenon. However, the UFO group finances their project against others by using the petrodollar. He suggests it uses vast hidden resources. The UFO cover-up group is involved in a complex game of chess with a superior enemy, trying to combat their moves without letting them know what we know. Disclosure in the goal. His advisors want humanity to become aware of the reality of the others. They are not warmongers, and in their real motivation as well as the reason for the cover-up has been to fight a secret war against the others. If we knew what they'd done in secret and the responsibility they've borne alone, we would think of them as heroes. The reason political figures are talking about UFOs, including Hillary, is not for votes. He knows why the candidates are talking about it is because the reason is, it's time for it to come out of the shadows. The cover-up guys are skeptical of politics and believe that political division may be the result of the manipulation by the others. When they hear divisive politicians and political ideas, they say to each other, what a great formula for war, ain't it? They believe that current political conflict, from American foreign policy to the rise of ISIS, is being manufactured by the others. He says we need to change the way we treat each other, as it's not humanity's fault we hate each other. We've been designed to hate each other by the schemes of the others. Our behaviors were designed to lead to hate and war. We need to put the weapons down and look up at who has been causing all of this. Summary. What Tom is claiming is that we're in Cold War with malevolent aliens who may not actually not be from our material dimension, but have the power to create physical craft and artifacts. They can manipulate consciousness, zero-point energy, and our perceptions and create matter on the nanoscale. These others have been manipulating humans throughout our history, first with inspiring world religions by appearing as gods, and more recently by deliberately crashing craft to give us technology, or directly implanting new ideas into humans' brains that will propagate conflict to keep us divided and stop us unifying as a species. They are hostile to humans' spiritual development and parasitically feeding of our negative emotions, fear and depression, and destructive urges while keeping us enslaved. All of the major conflicts between us have been manufactured by them, including the current religious terrorism and World War II with the Nazis. Earth is already enslaved. Our history is a lie. A worldwide extra-governmental cabal are fighting a secret war against the others. The known Cold War is at least partly a cover for what was really going on in relation to the phenomenon. When we developed nuclear weapons, it's appeared at every test. Supposed rivals like America and Russia both experienced these encounters. We conducted tests in the atmosphere and space, not as warmongering, but because we discovered EMP could bring down UFOs, and with all their technological superiority, the others could not combat them. The secret transnational group have kept their reverse-engineered discoveries secret, not from us for their own power or wealth, but because they don't want the others to know that we can fight them. We're involved in a complex game of chess with a vastly superior and hostile enemy. The whole of the UFO subject needs to be seen through that lens. Which parts of the script would you like me to add voice to? Everything you want to know about Tom DeLonge's claims about UFOs listed in the next few slides. Must watch. As others have reported, these advisors are allegedly senior generals and figures in the U.S. intelligence services and the military-industrial complex. It seems clear to me that he does have these contacts based on his known contacts and the information TTSA has released so far, including senatorial briefings, as well as the Navy's acknowledgement of UFOs and their recent partnership with the U.S. Army.